took a little over a year and a half, but boy got new brakes, brand new shoes. If you want to see how bad it was before I grenaded them, that was the best brake pad I had, I think. Also, if you know anything about rear brakes, this is pretty much what holds one whole shoe onto the backing plate, keeps it, you know, semi-tight. There's a spring that goes in it. This is what came out of mine. That's not supposed to look like that. All right, we just kind of getting a bunch of little stuff done before LTN. For one, I got all new fender liners there and there. I can't find the one that goes here, so I might have to make one, but that's coming. I got new fender trim on all 4 corners, mostly just because the back ones were super messed up. So I just went ahead and replaced them all. Also, just replaced that. That's brand new because it broke off about a year ago and I just hadn't fixed it, so that's fixed now. Also, we got the rear brakes all situated. What we did to just make it better was put a new body master cylinder in there, which if you don't know is a direct bolt up. It's just got a little brass adapter fitting for one of the lines. And now I can actually stop these things. But right now we're probably doing the most important part. I'm about to take these 44s off and put these nice little rollers on. That way I can actually fit this thing on an alignment rack, because that front end ain't gonna like them hills and Branson. So before we even get started, I don't want to see no comments on how stupid this looks. I don't want to hear nothing about leg day. Keep your mouth shut, all right? This is temporary. I just got to do what I got to do. And if you see me around town, mind your business. So big shout out to my buddy, because without him, that thing wouldn't get in the line. He's got to take his wheel lights off and everything so he can put his new rollers on. Man, all I feel is pain. These are 35s, by the way. All right, so we're going on day 2. They can't fit 14 wides apparently, so we've come to this. All that yesterday for no reason. This is the look right here. She's LTN ready now. All right, it's time for me to stop being lazy. I just got to put in these braces. So if you haven't ever seen these before, Cognito sells them, and basically what it is, it's a brace that's gonna sit in here, one under the idler arm and one under the pitman arm. It's just gonna stiffen everything up. So it'll really help stiffen the top part of the center link. You don't need to have this lift for it. I mean, it works on any truck, but I definitely think it's a good idea to run one on this truck with the center link drop being so tall. So we'll have the braces here, that heim joint brace there. Between those two things, it should stiffen up this center link a lot and keep it from moving back and forth as much as possible. The only weak point in all of this steering is these tie rods, and I am planning on building some heim joint tie rods for this truck eventually, but that definitely ain't happening before LTN. That's basically what it looks like. See, it sandwiches in up there on the idler arm bracket stud, comes down, heim joint, sandwiches the center link. That right there isn't gonna bend. That's not gonna move. That's not gonna have play in it, just like the ball joint idler arm would. So that's how it's done. My arm side is the exact same way. Just finished up this side too. That's one more thing checked off my list for the LTN crunch. I still haven't retorqued everything, so I'm gonna drive it around for a couple more days, go retorque everything, and then retorque those two, even though I just put Loctite on them, but you know, just to be safe. Hopefully I'll be able to knock out all these rock lights on Saturday, and then the only other thing I got is door fins. All right, boys, it's time to fix this. That's not gonna work. All right, we're back. I had to go get some new door pins. Already had the new bushings. That's unplugged, so now we're about to take this door off. If you don't know what these are, they're the Cunningham machining door bushings. They're a lot stronger than this garbage. And on top of that, these are oversized, so I have to drill all my holes out to a 9/16 because my holes are too walled out for the stock size bushings. What'd you just ask me?
Toothbrush, you just wipe it out.
All right, so we kind of screwed up a little bit, but it's all right because we drilled out these holes right here, and we actually weren't supposed to do that. We were supposed to drill out these on the door side, but I bought extra Cunningham machining bushings, so just put one on each hinge. So this pin literally has 4 bushings on it. We were gonna do the same thing with the top because this actually makes it a lot stiffer, but we just wanted to make sure that that actually did work before we drilled those out, before we messed up on 2 hinges.
All right. I'm shutting the door.
I don't know what to say, man. All right. Boy, it's still a little off, but I mean, it's OBS. But, oh shit. But compared to what it used to be, man, that's amazing. Like, even when you open it, it doesn't drop at all either, which is crazy. I've been needing door pins for probably the last 2.5 years. And the last time I put a set in, they just popped in and fell out because my holes were walled out. That's why I had to get the oversized ones. So I finally went ahead and did it, and I really wish I would have done this a long time ago. So actually, we're geniuses, and everybody should do door pins that way, because the reason it has just a little bit of play still in it is because it's still moving in the top up here. It's barely got any play in it, but it's in the door hinge holes that don't have bushings in them. The cab door hinge holes are the ones that have bushings in them. So that side has 0 play in it. Eventually, we're gonna end up doing the exact same thing, putting 4 bushings on this pin, but for now, it's fine. Oh yeah, by the way, I completely forgot to mention, I don't know if I recorded any of this, but I put 12 more rock lights in my truck. I got those 2. I got 3 down the sides, and then 2 in the back, and 1 right there. I'm actually gonna move this one to right there because I want it to be more over the top of the rear diff, especially once I do my 4-link and everything and all this is powder coated. So we're gonna cut this exhaust right behind the X pipe, get this out the way, and then won't be hitting the exhaust anymore. I really wish I could get this redone before LTN, but that's just not gonna happen. So that's the plan for today, is to get all those wired up. Shouldn't be too bad. It'll brighten up the front and the sides a lot more than it already does. All right, we got the back done. Exhaust is cut off. I moved that one from there to there. So it'd be more over top of the axle. Like I said, those 2 are wired up. And now he's just working his way back on that side, and I'm working my way back on this side. All right, boys, only took a couple hours, but we're done. So my other white lights and my ring lights and everything are on this switch. These are my red lights. These other lights that we just put in, I put on this switch, which if you don't remember, that used to be my switch for my pods. I had my high beam. When I took those out, I left the harness and everything in here because I knew I was eventually gonna get some more lights. But I got everything hooked up. There's 3 right there. I say I got everything hooked up. My buddy Michael helped me out a lot. I got this done way faster than I would have if I just did it by myself. I got 3 back here. These 3 on this side. Oh, and that one in the middle. And these 2 in the front. So now the only thing to wait on is for it to get dark so I can come see how bright it really is. How much better it made everything, how much it lit all this up in the middle and in the front. All right, so it's not super dark out yet, but you'll still be able to get the idea. I didn't want to come out here when it was pitch black, you know. So first I'm gonna turn on what I already had, which will be the 4 wheel lights and 1 white rock light in each fender. I'm gonna turn that on first so y'all can see what it used to look like before everything else we just put in. All right, so this is what I was rocking with. The wheel lights do light up a lot. They're actually really bright for single rows. So they do light up a good bit, but it just wasn't enough. Right here on the side, it's super dark, and right in the front, especially like when it's actually really dark outside, you can't see anything on that faceplate or the side. So now I'm gonna turn on the 12 that we just added. A huge difference, especially like on the ground. That's probably the biggest change with all this, is how bright it is on the ground around the truck. Here it is back here in the back. That's gonna look really good once the rear diff is powder coated and we got my link bars going and all that. That's gonna look really good back there. I'm ready to see that. But right here on the side, you can see it lights up. The torsion bar dropped a lot, way more than it used to. And now you can actually see the front. The only thing I don't like is you can kind of tell there's a little bit of a shadow right here. So I'm gonna have to figure something out about that. I might add 1 more. I'm definitely happy that this was one of the things I got done before LTN. This is just so much better. Like I said, there are still so many more things I wanted to do before LTN, but I just ran out of time. It'll be all right. I mean, the best way to look at it is there's just more that I can do to the truck before the next show. You know what I'm saying? So looking back on it, it's actually crazy the amount of changes I've made in just 1 year to this truck. I'm gonna throw a picture right now of how the truck went to LTN last year for those of y'all that are new. That, like I said, if you're new, was on a 6-inch rough country, 3-inch body, and borrowed 40s and 24s. I had already sold mine and I was waiting on my forces at the time. They didn't come in before the show, so that's pretty much it. This video is going to get posted tonight, the night I'm recording this. If not tonight, it'll be first thing in the morning. And I still got 1 more video I want to get out before we leave for LTN, so that's going to get uploaded the weekend of LTN. I'm going to upload that while I'm up there. Pretty much going to do it for this video. The crunch is finally over. We're leaving out Thursday morning, so I hope to see a lot of y'all there. Make sure you follow my Snapchat and Instagram. It's always in the bio. To stay updated with everything, hit me up if y'all are there on one of those 2. Make sure y'all are subbed for the post LTN videos, because I wish we could say we were pretty much done with this truck, but we ain't even close.